Yellowstone seems to come to an end. But this doesn't necessarily mean that we are ready to say goodbye to the series. Because, let's be real, while the supposed finale gave us a lot to think about, it was far from being satisfactory. Thankfully, the showrunners agree with us, and thus they decided to continue the franchise with a brand new spin-off series that will act as Yellowstone Season 6. And guess what? The leading characters will be our absolute fan favorite duo, Beth and Rip. So, without further ado, let's talk about it. Now, as many of you know, Yellowstone finale witnessed the Duttons losing the ranch for good. I mean, the Yellowstone Ranch has been the backbone of the series. It was a symbol of family, sacrifice, and survival. So watching it sold off to the reservation was a lot to process for many of us. On one hand, Thomas Rainwater's tears when the land returned to Native American ownership felt like a bittersweet victory. On the other, the iconic Yellowstone banner coming down was like closing the book on a whole era. And yeah, I'm still trying to get over it. For Beth and Rip, though, it meant one thing. It was finally time to move on. Now, they're leaving Montana behind and starting over on a new ranch. And yes, it is confirmed that Yellowstone Season 6 will be in the form of a brand new Yellowstone sequel with Beth and Rip leading the series. And I cannot wait for it. Now, I'll be honest, their finale wrap-up felt pretty rushed. Like 1 minute they're dealing with Jamie, and the next, they're riding off to a new life, and I didn't get to observe and consume any of these. But maybe that's because the real focus is on what's next for them. How did you feel about all these? Did it feel like this was the right ending or way too rushed? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, Elle believe we have to talk especially about Rip and why it matters that he gets a spin-off for himself. For a guy who's always been the enforcer and protector of the Duttons, his quiet demeanor in the finale felt strange, to say the least. I mean, feel free to disagree with me in the comments, but can I ask you, where was the fire we've seen in him before? Like, he didn't have a huge reaction to John's death or Jamie's murder, which felt a little off considering how loyal and passionate he's always been. It felt like he was doing whatever Beth telling him to do and had no part in actually impacting the storyline or the events. He was a mere tool of Beth in Season 5's ending, and I hated to see that. But hear me out. What if that's the point? Like, Rip's role might have been quieter because the spin-off is his time to shine. He's stepping away from the chaos of the Dutton family and finally gets a chance to build something his way. Leading a new ranch means Rip can show us a whole new side of himself, as a leader, a builder, and maybe even someone looking for a little peace. Do you also think Rip's quiet finale was setting him up for something bigger? Let me know your take. Beth, on the other hand, has always been one of the most intense and unpredictable characters on the show. Her final confrontation with Jamie delivered all the drama we've come to expect. Yes, it was rushed, but it was also pretty glamorous and anticipated, considering their history together. To me, after years of hatred and manipulation, Jamie's death felt like the ultimate end to their toxic relationship. But even in this supposedly satisfactory storyline, some things felt off. Like, as if Beth forgot something very important about Jamie and her revenge against him. Can you think of something? Well, let me save you out of your misery. What happened to Jamie's son? In Season 4, Beth made it clear she wanted to erase Jamie's entire legacy. So why didn't she even mention his child in the finale? That doesn't sound like Beth, right? My guess is the spin-off will pick this storyline back up. Jamie's son could easily become a future problem, and let's face it, Beth doesn't let loose ends go. What do you think? Will Jamie's son come back as a major twist in the spin-off? Or was that storyline dropped? Don't forget to share your theories. If there's one bright spot in Beth and Rip's chaotic lives though, it's Carter, who will also be the part of new spin-off show alongside the couple. Over the past couple of seasons, we've watched him grow from a troubled kid into someone who's almost like a son to them. Rip's mentorship and Beth's tough love approach turned Carter into part of their unconventional family. We already know Carter is joining them on their new ranch. And honestly, I feel like this is a chance to see a different side of Beth and Rip. Can Beth, with all her sharp edges, embrace motherhood? Will Rip take Carter under his wing and teach him how to run a ranch of his own? There's so much potential here to explore what family really means for these two, and I'm more than excited for them. But let me know what you think about their potential parenthood in the new show. Now, I know are some of you out there who believe this new show is unnecessary, but here's why I believe Beth and Rip deserve this spin-off. To me, they're Yellowstone's heart and soul. Through every loss, every betrayal, and every brutal moment, they've always stood by each other. Now they finally get a clean slate, or as clean as it can get when you're Beth and Rip. Of course, the new show won't all be peaceful. Like, it wouldn't be appropriate for the Dutton legacy to have a lovely family drama, we all know that. So, expect a lot more drama. For instance, remember the detective who told Beth he'd stay in touch after Jamie's death? That feels like a storm waiting to hit. Like, there is no way they would actually let go of Jamie so easily, especially with Jamie's blood still at the floor of that damn house. And what about market equities? Like, they've been a thorn in Beth's side for years, and I wouldn't be surprised if they come back to cause problems in the spinoff. Because we didn't even get to see their reactions to the loss of the Yellowstone ranch, and like, it did not make any sense. What do you think will be the biggest challenge for Beth and Rip in the spinoff? Will they finally find peace? Or is it going to be just as wild as Yellowstone? I can't wait to hear your thoughts. For more weekly updates on the Yellowstone franchise, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.